Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to another day of poetry writing with me, Miss Lias. Now, we've learned lots of skills that a poet will use to write poems. Let's review some. We've learned that rhyming is when a poem uses rhyme, it will have two or more words that sound the same. The rhyming words are often at the end of the line. Which words rhyme? Let's look at the poem below. The dog sat on a rug. He jumped up and gave it a tug. His bottom bumped into a jug. It hit the ground and squashed a bug. Now let's take a look at the words that rhyme. We have rug and tug, jug and bug. The use of rhymes gives your poem more interest and rhythm. A poet may also use rhythm. A poem that uses rhythm will have a beat or a pattern of beats made by the syllables. Can you hear the beat? Listen to the poem below. The dog sat on a round rug. He jumped up and gave it a tug. His bottom bumped into a nail. It made him bark, yelp, and wail. Notice how the song how the poem sounds almost like a song. It has that rhythm. Now, a poet may also use repetition, one of my favorites. A poem that uses repetition will have the same words or group of words repeated again and again on or in lines. Listen to the poem below. The butterfly so pretty to see, see, see. She's smiling sweetly at me, me, me. She'll fly away so high, 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 as I gently wave goodbye, bye, bye. Repetition, use of repeated words again and again in your poem. Now, last week we learned about personification. A poem that uses personification will give human qualities to a non-human thing. Let's listen to the poem below. The silly egg bounced all around. With joy and giggles, it fell to the ground. It rolled with laughter at the joke of giving his friend a little poke. Now, can eggs really roll around with laughter? No. And eggs can't really give a friend a poke because they don't even have fingers. So, giving human qualities to an object is called personification. Now, a new skill that we're going to learn today is using a formula. You see, a poem that uses a formula will follow a certain pattern, a plan, or a design. Now, I'm going to read the poem below, but I want you to count the words on each line. Ready? Sun, hot, bright, shiny, beaming, rising. Star, rays, night, rock, glowing, reflecting, guiding. Cool, round, moon. Did you see a pattern in this poem? Well, let's take a look. On the first line, I have one word, which is sun. But on the second line, I have two words, hot, bright. On the third line, I have three words, shining, beaming, and rising. On the fourth line, I have four words, star, rays, night, rock. Now, on the next line, I have three words, glowing, reflecting, guiding. And then here on the next line, I have two words, cool, round, and then the last line, I have moon. So here is a formula. I found a pattern. On the first line, I had one word. On the second line, there were 2 words. On the third line, there were 3 words, all ending with ing. On the fourth line, there were 4 words. But on the fifth line, it went back down to 3. And they all have ing at the end. And then on the next line, it went down to 2. And then on the last line, it went down to 1. So here's the pattern. It goes 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. Then after it got to 4 words, it went back down to 3 words, 2 words, and 1 word. A formula. You're writing based off of a pattern. Now, remember, a formula poem has a pattern. So let's take a look at this next poem. It's called Puppy. Puppy, sweet, young, running, sleeping, playing, ball, leash, treats, backyard, barking, eating, fetching, playful, silly, pup. Did you count the words in each line? Did you notice a pattern or a formula? Now, do you understand what a formula is? Let's keep reading and try more examples. An example of a formula poem is called a cinquain poem. Now, a cinquain poem is an example of a formula poem. It uses a formula to follow a pattern, design, or plan. Let's take a look. Here is a poem called Soup. Soup. Warm, tasty, steaming, slurping, cooking, yummy in my tummy, mixture. Well, let's take a look at this poem. Here's the pattern and plan and design. The first word tells you what we're talking about, and it's only 1 word, soup. The next word kind of describes what the soup is like. Well, the soup is warm and tasty. The third line gives us 3 words that all end in ing. What is soup? It's steaming, slurping, cooking. In the fourth line, it gives me 4 words. All right, and it describes the feeling. It's yummy in my tummy. And then the last word, it's another name or another way to say soup. It's a mixture. Soup is a mixture of different things. So soup, warm, tasty, steaming, slurping, cooking, yummy in my tummy, mixture. So this is considered a cinquain poem. It follows a pattern, plan, or design. Now, in order to write a cinquain poem, I have to follow certain criteria. For the first line, I have to write 1 noun. The second line, I have to write 2 adjectives, 2 words to describe the thing that I'm talking about. On the third line, I have to write 3 ing words of what my poem or the item in my poem can do. On the fourth line, I have to write 4 feeling words, how it feels or how I feel when I see it, or I can write a feeling phrase with 4 words. And then on the fifth line, I have to write another word for the noun. And that's my formula or plan for a cinquain poem. Let's take a look at the poem that I have written about the cardinal. All right, so it starts off with bird, red, beautiful, flying, searching, soaring, lucky bird flying free, cardinal. So if you take a look at my poem and look at the plan or the formula, did I follow it? The answer is yes. I started off with the noun, which is bird. Did I add 2 describing words? Red and beautiful. 3 ing words. Flying, searching, soaring. 4 filling words. Lucky bird flying free. And on the last line, another word for the word bird, cardinal. See, a Cinquain poem is a formula poem. It's very simple to do. Now it's your turn to write your Cinquain poem. Your assignment can be found in the Google Classroom. You're going to write your own formula/Cinquain poem. Here are some ideas of things that you can write about, but you can write about anything that you think of. You could write about puppies, toys, friends, birthday or parties, or your favorite food. Try thinking of something that you want to write about and then go to the Google Classroom and write your Cinquain poem. This page can be found and it gives you the words that you need to put in. All you have to do is fill in the words and then your poem is complete. Well, boys and girls, I hope you have fun writing your Cinquain poem today. Have a great time. I can't wait to hear it. Bye, everybody.